Tonight on the Reno Show, I'll show you how to sell your property fast with the right sale price. Rowan's here with quick tips to show you how to create a view out of your first floor windows. I'll show you how to use lamps in the right way for styling. And Chloe from the Greenery Sydney brings us the plant of the day. And here's a tip, it's mini and oh so cute. And Rowan and I are checking out the kitchen renovation of my latest project.
Fellow renovators, it's Naomi Findlay here, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most exciting steps in the renovation journey, and that is working out exactly how much your property is going to be worth post-renovation. So, are you trying to work out the sweet spot of your property? So where your renovation profit is going to be maximum. And maybe you're a bit worried that you mightn't make enough profit after counting in all of your expenses. And is it getting a little bit overwhelming trying to figure out what that end price of your project might even be before you have started? Now, there's plenty of things to take into account, and one of them is obviously the stock on the market. Maybe there's a lot of 4-bedroom houses just like the one you're doing that might even be renovated. So how do you figure out what the actual dollar value should be and what you should be placing on your home? You know what? You've already done the hard yards and you already started to work out some of these expenses. We just need to put it all together for you. So you should have by now worked out your business strategy. You should know what patch you're renovating in if you're at this point, and so you're really armed and ready to go. If you've crunched those numbers and you actually have a physical renovation that you're ready to do, then you might just need to finesse that a little bit more to work out how many dollar signs to put on that renovation post value. So, because to work out your sale price, it's all about working backwards and including all of the money that you would have spent on the project and any related expenses. So let's start first by working backwards with all of that. And when I mean all of that, I mean exactly that. This isn't just about your actual renovation costs and that side of things. It's also about any other money that you've spent on this renovation. And this could be money you've spent to your solicitors, money you've paid to your accountants, money you've paid in stamp duty, loan repayments. Everything needs to be included just to be sure that you're making sure your profit at the end is a clear profit. Because there's no point including items that aren't directly related to your property or forgetting to include items. Otherwise, the profit that you think you're going to be making at the end is actually a little loose and a little weak. Absolutely essential, work backwards. What you need to do is make sure you find all your costs, including holding costs, building costs, renovation costs, dumping fees, every single thing, conveyancing fees, buying and selling fees, every single thing, every cost that you've incurred for that project alone must be included. The only way you can make sure that you have a clean, precise profit is to make sure that all your expenses have been factored in. Now, the next thing you can do to help you find out what the value of your post-renovation property will be is to look at properties similar to yours. So, similar to working out how your buy price works, you need to also look around at surrounding properties that are selling. This would definitely be one of the simplest steps to do. So let's explore this a little more in depth. Before you start looking at similar properties, you need to have a really clear idea of what your finished product will look like. Are you replacing the kitchen and the bathroom? Will you be doing a new entertaining area? Are you converting the living space into an open plan haven? On top of these renovations, you also need to be thinking about the level of finish that you're going to be having in your property. Are you going to be having laminated bench tops, or are you going to be having stone bench tops? Will the entrance of the hallway have a beautiful big pendant light, or will it have simple lighting? Are you going to have an IT system embedded in the house? Now, all of these things should be factored in to what your end product will actually look like, because this will affect your end renovation value. You need to make sure that you're comparing apples with apples, not apples with oranges. And exactly the same thing goes for property. So yes, if you were looking at another property down the road, let's say you have a Victorian terrace and you're looking at an exactly the same, what you think is a Victorian terrace, but yours might have stone bench tops, yours might have bespoke lighting, yours might have beautiful hardwood floors in comparison to a lower level of finish in the other place. And you know what? That makes a world of difference when it comes to your post-renovation value. So you can also look online at places like realestate.com.au or domain.com.au and look at the prices of properties, again, that are apples and apples with your property, and see what they've sold for. But just make sure that you're looking at recent property sales, not ones that are maybe 12 or 18 months old. Now, there is an exception to this rule. So when I say don't look for old data, the exception to this rule is maybe if you're in a rural or semi-rural or even regional area where you don't have a whole world of properties that have been selling in the last 6 to 12 months. But if you live anywhere around our country, coastal hugging, or in our metropolitan areas, you should not have a problem with that at all. Now, my Rapid Renovation Formula has an awesome tool in there to help you figure out all of this quickly and easily. Now, number 3, getting agents' opinions. This is part of it where we pull in the human factor. A good connection with real estate agents or property buyers is so important. After all, it is part of their job, as well as yours, to know the market, to know the properties in their specific area. And a relationship with a good agent who's good at their job will be a wealth of knowledge and will be able to help validate, will be able to help be devil's advocate, and will be able to help you really pinpoint exactly what the post-renovation value of your property should be. So after you've collected your data, after you've worked out the level of finish, after you've looked at your comparable properties, seek expert counsel. So use your existing expert knowledge that you've developed and you've connected and validate that with other local experts. So when you combine those 3 elements together, you will, before you even start your project, before you even buy a property, you will have a phenomenal idea of your post-renovation value, sale price, or the rent that you can pull from it. Plant of the Day with Chloe from the Greenery Sydney. Wow, team, it appears that Chloe has brought me in a herb today. Is this a herb, Chloe? What is going on?
No, Naomi, this is a ficus creeping fig.
A fig?
It is.
As
Ficus.
in giant fig?
Well, it's a ficus.
It's part of the family.
It is.
It's a really cool plant. It has some great structure to it. What's your favourite thing about it?
I like that it's variegated. So this variety is called ice caps.
That's kind of clever and cool.
Yeah,
hey.
it's nice.
So the little white tips, and do you know what I notice is it's not identical on each leaf, which gives it a great variety.
It does, and it can also trail down as a trailing plant. But if you had a arch or a totem, it can grow up.
So you could train this around some random shape.
It does.
Anything you wanted, really.
Really.
Get out the coat hanger and cut sick. And so this one, I noticed that this has a drain hole. Watering this one, can I kill this one with kindness?
Not really. So you do need to keep it fairly moist.
Okay.
And lots of bright light, but no direct sunlight.
Okay, so a little bit more like a fern then. Got to
Yes.
keep it moist
Yes.
and not burn it.
That's right. Perfect.
Okay, there's 2 rules. Keep it moist, don't burn it. It's a gorgeous little trailing fig. All well and good
good to have a gorgeous interior of your home. But when the view behind these shutters, when the view outside the window is, I was about to say ugly and then Rowan walked in.
Hey.
I don't mean that at
I
all.
didn't even know you were filming.
Oh, good job.
Hi, Mum.
Good on you. Right, so what is out there right now, Rowan? What's my view?
Well, it's retainer wall and colour-bond fence.
It could be a lot sexier. Realistically, it's a little bit of a letdown. You have this gorgeous internal space, you open up these beautiful shutters, and when Rowan's not standing there, you see Besser block, untreated wall, and a colour-bond fence. So, challenge, Rowan.
Challenge me.
Challenge. I'm going to challenge us to creating a view that brings in piles of space medicine. So when you feel good with the inside, you open up the shutters and you're going to feel great with what you see out there.
Let's see if we can green it up out here a little bit, hey?
Challenge accepted?
Accepted.
Let's do it.
Yes. Okay, I'll get some stuff. Okay, so here we are outside our house with the beautiful windows here looking through from the beautiful interior to grey Besser block wall with a colour-bond fence on top. And don't get me wrong, I like a good colour-bond fence. I'm also very fond of a good retaining wall, but it's not the sort of thing I want to see when I'm looking outside of my gorgeous living room. So what we're going to do here, we've got these lovely formed concrete planters. We're going to plant these out with some jasmine and some other nice flowering colourful plants and some things that give us some really beautiful smells when they're in flower. But we're going to build an espalier frame up here, and we're going to allow that jasmine to climb up it over time, obviously. And it's going to block out this view here of the fence and the retainer wall. So we get to bring the outside in to some extent as well, but we get to soften all of this out here outside the window with these beautiful plantings. Very easy, very simple thing to do. Stay tuned, we'll show you how to do it. Okay, so here we are with our espalier frames. Now we're using hardwood here that's been ripped out of a job we were doing, and we've ripped it down to size. These are about 35 by 40 odd. You can make up your own sizes, whatever's going to suit your pot size basically. So we've allowed 100 mil either side inside the pot when this sits inside it, and we've just made up a very basic frame here out of the hardwood. We've just tacked it together with a couple of screws, and we've put these bits of pine offcuts from some fence palings just down at the bottom end. This will be the bit that sits in the pot, just to give it a little bit of surface area for the soil to hold it in the pot. If you don't have this opportunity, and depending on the sort of pot that you're using, you can even fix it directly to the pot through the back with some, if it's concrete masonry pots like the ones that we're using, you can actually drill through those with a masonry bit and you can fix it on. But it's not going to be carrying a great deal of weight, and if you can lean it against something like we've got here and then tie it back to the fence, that'll do all the weight carrying that you need to have it do. Okay, so now we'll stick it all together, okay? Earplugs are in. What? What did you say, Gnomes? Safety goggles are on. It's good, I can't hear it from this. And we're just tacking it together. On over this side. Right, now we're just going to run our wire through our frame. So we're using a 2mm stainless wire that you can get, we bought it on the roll here. Stainless so that it's going to withstand the moisture and stuff that it's expected to get. We've got a 2mm wire, so we're going to run it through a 3mm hole in the frame just to give it a little bit of room, so it makes it easy to thread through. And we're just going to, like lacing up a shoe, backwards and forwards across the frame. Give ourselves some slack.
Okay, I'm super pumped. This is the fun stage of the game. Now I have these amazing frames that you saw Rowan whip up for me earlier. And the most magical part about nearly all of this is these planters I found laying around the yard of this house. These frames that Rowan ripped up, literally, are from a hardwood frame of a property he's working on now. So these are recycled as well. It's like winner, winner, chicken dinner. So what we've done, if you can see, we're literally sitting moving them into the back side of the pot. And then we're going to be backfilling them with soil, putting in some beautiful climbers that over time will take over this entire trellis. And for some lovely variation, texture and fall, we'll be sitting these at the front of the planters. Let's do it. So we might have, oh my gosh, I'm being taken over by Jasmine. We might have the plants in the pots, but there's still some work to do. We need to untether them from their existing trellis, which shouldn't be that hard. Then we need to start to wind them around these amazing new frames we've made, which is the start of the training process of the months to come. And here is the final reveal.
All right, well, thank you, Naomi, for coming back and continuing to explain to us this renovation that you've been going through. And we want to jump now from one end of the house. We've just been in the bedrooms and the bathroom.
Correct.
We're going to walk back through our renovated living room.
Yes.
Through our new door opening into our kitchen. Let's start with the door opening.
Okay.
Why did you move the door opening?
Well, look, I didn't move it a long way. I literally just shuffled it, not even the full width of the door, to one side. So for me, kitchens are all about functionality. And where we were when we started with this kitchen, it was effectively a long, skinny space that opened onto an internal sunroom, which was unused except by that dog, I think.
Yes.
And the kitchen was squashed up one end, and I think they kind of bastardized the old laundry into it. I think, well, I couldn't really tell. I think there used to be a washing machine under the kitchen sink.
Yeah, it's hard to see from the before photos, but you can see in the after photos, we still essentially have a galley kitchen. We've got a long, thin kitchen. We've moved the doorway a little bit, not much. And important to note that doorways aren't, it's not a big mission to move a doorway.
It's not a big mission to move a doorway.
If it's going to buy you some more space and make functionality much better, then by all means.
I literally needed to buy myself 400 mil.
Yeah, it's a relatively low cost to move
Absolutely. And what that meant is I got to, instead of having a squatty kitchen that didn't work and there was literally no bench space, and had no pantry, no fridge space, I got to actually, in that one space, I got to create a European laundry up one end, so it was completely enclosed, so you never were doing the dishes with your washing basket below you.
For those that don't know, a European laundry is not a bath that gets used twice a week if you're British. No, it's actually just...
It's a laundry inside a really large linen press, basically.
Basically. So it's
with high functionality. So you have your washer, your dryer, you still have a tub, and you even have like broom and vacuum space. So it's
and it sits inside a cupboard.
Absolutely. It sits inside a beautiful big cupboard. So I popped one of those at one end. I extended the kitchen across the entire length of what was there already because I knew that there was an unused dog space on the other side. It was part of the house.
Yeah, and now you've got an island bench that doubles as kind of a breakfast bar type arrangement. So functionality is huge. We've got so much more light coming to that space. It feels so much more spacious. You've changed the layout of the kitchen to make that functionality from the fridge to the stovetop to the sink. You've got that triangle working really nicely.
Because it was a traditional small space, so my triangle theory worked on those ones.
Yep.
And you know what was really interesting? One of the biggest challenges I had there, though, you asked me earlier about floor challenges.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So because I was using, what I noticed is there used to be a laundry there. There used to be. And they made that part of the kitchen. And it was under lino and a pile of masonite and chipboard and all that sort of stuff. But what I also noticed is when I decided to make it one big space, I had a concrete slab sitting under there that was at a different level. So
under the laundry?
Yeah. So it was a suspended slab. And so what it meant, though, if I wanted to timber that whole floor, I actually had to jackhammer out some troughs to lay some battens so that I could then lay flooring over the top. So it meant that it's so important to have seamless flooring throughout your house. So it meant that I was able to then flow that flooring into that enclosed sunroom out the back and make it feel all one.
Very nice. And it looks, you'll agree when you see the before and afters, it looks amazing. The functionality of that space now from 2 separate rooms to essentially becoming one second living space. Because let's face it, you do a lot of your living in the kitchen,
You do.
dining, and there's some lounge suite in there. So it's a beautiful aspect over that backyard.
Absolutely.
Now that it's all turfed and landscaped and all the rubbish is out of there, it's really, really attractive.
Thank you.
And then we'll refer to later what we've done on, well, what I take credit for.
He didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything. But what you've done to the outside, to bring the outside and inside together as well. We'll talk about that later on. Okay, so what else are we looking at? You've replaced entire kitchen carcasses here.
Absolutely.
So it's gone with a complete
So the entire
new
thing got ripped out. Again, I didn't rip it out, and I got it paid to get rid of
You
it.
didn't sell this though.
I did.
You did?
Yeah,
oh
that's
my
right.
Lord.
I got paid by someone. They came and ripped it out. They took the kitchen away. They also sold the stoves. This is a big thing, guys. Sell everything you can. I sold a window that I had to replace in there because it wasn't working, so I sold it.
This is all just ticking back onto the budget.
Absolutely. I reckon I actually worked it out. The amount of stuff I sold in that place paid for 2 of my skip bins.
This is stuff that you didn't have in your budget originally. You didn't know you'd be able to sell for that?
No, I had no idea.
Oh, so they're just picking up stuff along the way.
That's right.
So always open to opportunity.
Absolutely.
And yeah, great way to approach a renovation. And also, we alluded to it earlier as well, your demolition is important if you can preserve
It's
stuff.
really important. Look, in this space, I didn't have to worry. I knew that all the walls in there were asbestos.
Yep.
And because we were going to be working in that space, they had to have a licensed professional come in,
Yep.
remove those, have it sealed off, have it bag tagged, registered, and taken care of
And you'll
properly.
see that in the renovation photos as well. We stripped it, or I said it again, the collective we.
Didn't we?
It's all stripped back to wall frame. And then we've ended up with this beautiful kitchen / dining sitting room.
Absolutely.
Massively increased the functionality. Some fantastic appliances in there. Incorporated our laundry. Just ticking boxes left, right, and
I know.
centre,
I
girl.
can't wait till our next segment when we get to talk all more about the sunroom. Some beautiful surprises.
We're
in
going to
there.
go there very soon, so join us for that one.
Bespoke styling is the perfect way to complete your renovation. So join me for some styling secrets. There's a saying that I love, and it is that without light, there is no life. So no matter how amazing your interiors or your renovation is, without the right light to light it up in the right way, it has such little life about it. So I am a raving fan of lamps. That's right. All shapes, all sizes. Whether it be a floor lamp, a table lamp, an occasional lamp, which is different to a table lamp. It's generally a little larger and a little more opulent, may we say, or even a desk lamp. So the difference being a desk lamp is often smaller and more functional. Lamps are a phenomenal way for you to add that extra ambient, that extra mood, that extra atmospheric lighting to your space. And the best part of it is they're not permanent. They're affordable, and they're something that each and every season you can change out as you change your mind and as you change the look and feel of how you want your space to be. Next time on The Reno Show, I'm bringing you the latest bathroom taps from Early Settler. Mark Kentwell from PRD Nationwide will reveal the best time of the year to sell your home. We've got an amazing pantry makeover with Hume Doors, and Rowan and I reveal a sunroom renovation that makes all the difference to a property.